All right, we're taking a look at that tropical radar. There is still a lot of rain coming down. Now shifting to the east coast of Florida and up the I-95 corridor. Get north of I-4, get through Daytona, up towards Palm Coast, and eventually going to march its way up towards Jacksonville. Now, the biggest rains are still going to be east of the center, which is going to start moving off the Florida peninsula, but there'll be plenty wrapping around. The 5 o'clock advisory downgraded Ian to a tropical storm. The winds down to 65 miles per hour. The pressure up to 986 millibars, but it's still moving slowly at 8 miles per hour. Now, pretty significant downgrades. It's been on land for like 15, 16 hours, and that is taking a toll of that core that's really hard to see right now. And as it bends back out over the waters, sure, it could probably strengthen or maintain some of its strength a little bit, but I think it'll be even weaker by the time it gets there. So the chances of it re-strengthening back to hurricane, not so good. That's better news for the Carolinas. Now, a lot of what's going on out to the east, these feeder bands continue to wrap around, and all the way down from Cuba and through the Bahamas, they're still getting wet from Ian. Back to the west on our side, no wet here, just breezy, and that's going to continue. And you can see as the storm works its way off to the north and east, it's harder and harder to find that eye. We've got all this dry air in place. It has done a wonderful job of helping to shoo this off to the east and protect us from the storm. And as more of that dry air gets pulled into the core of the storm, it should weaken even more. A lot of the showers that tried to wrap around ran into this wall of dry air and fizzled out. That should continue. We've got dew point temperatures mid-30s to low 40s, and what that tells us is the air is incredibly dry. We don't see these very often in October or September. Maybe we get dew points like this into November or December, and that's when we get some really cold temperatures. But for us to have this, it just tells us the air is super dry, and if the breeze would calm down and the skies would clear up, we'd have some cold mornings, but that's not going to happen. We're at 59 right now in Quincy. We're at 60 at Camilla. Thomasville, Moultrie 61s. Perry's at 65, and Cross City's at 67. We do still have that breeze. That's the impact that we felt yesterday. Breezy all day, and yesterday, as breezy as it was, we're talking like 10 to 20 mile per hour sustained winds. That's it, with some gusts near 25, similar to what we have right now. I think as we go through our day today, we might get some gusts closer to 30. We might have some sustained winds closer to 25. But like yesterday, that's the only impact we're going to get. And it is still nothing compared to what other parts of the state had when they had hours of sustained winds up over 40 or 50 miles per hour. We're going to have 10 to 20, maybe 15 to 25. A little breezier still out over the Gulf waters, maybe as high as 30 with some gusts near 40. Those seas 3 to 7 feet, so still not boating conditions, but I do think as we get towards the weekend, the winds calm down, the skies clear up, and the conditions do improve across the board. 50s and 60s for us this morning. It will be breezy. The sun comes up at 7:30. I hope we get to see some sunshine. Maybe further to the west, we'll have better chances for that, but there is dry air that should start to chew up some of those clouds, and maybe we can get some breaks of blue in the sky. This afternoon, it stays breezy. It stays mostly cloudy, but maybe we can start seeing things turn a little bit more partly cloudy and start to clear up a little bit. I'm going to leave the rain chances next to zero, 10%, mainly for far eastern areas, just if some of those wraparound bands are able to bring an isolated sprinkle or two where the air is not as dry. But most of our region, so dry, impossible for us to get any kind of rain with that. And then tonight, I think we're going to find a bunch of numbers back in the 50s, especially if these dew points stay as low as they've been, and we should be able to hang on to those for at least one more night. So still, I think, a lot drier, a little breezy, maybe still on the partly cloudy to mostly cloudy side, but things will improve as we go through tomorrow and the weekend. Now, it'll probably still be a little breezy tomorrow, and areas in northeast Florida might still get some of those wraparound showers where the dry air can't get to. But for our area, I-75 and west, I think it's going to be hard-pressed to bring any real showers here anytime soon, and that means we're actually going to be kind of dry. We're a couple inches behind rainfall so far this month. We're going to hear about some of those rainfall totals down in southwestern Florida that are going to be up near 2 feet, I'm sure. There's going to be plenty of spots through the central Florida Peninsula and the northeastern parts of the Florida Peninsula that get a whole bunch of rain. Around here, I think we continue with the dry and breezy for a couple of days, and our weekend forecast looking awfully nice.